All right, everyone. Trump is at it again, challenging Biden to take a drug test before their debate next month. It's in roughly 4 weeks, I believe. I think it's on the 17th of June or something like that. This is a good idea. Number one, because Biden would not pass the drug test. And number two, if he is capable of passing a drug test, Biden actually can score a big victory here. And because he can't pass a drug test is why he'll refuse. He's going to pretend... Probably already was weighed in. Well, that's inordinate and unusual, and, Trump is full of shit, and so I'm not going to do that, and Trump's just trying to make problems, and I'll wag my finger at him and tell him he's a naughty boy for suggesting that I would use Adderall. If he is not drugged up, so let's say that I'm Joe Biden, so I'm old, feeble, and fucked up. Let's say that I'm not so old, feeble, and fucked up that I do need a dose of Ritalin before I debate Donald Trump. Well, then I'll take the drug test. Okay, Donald. Yeah, I'll do it publicly, too. You can be there as well. I'll take the blood test right in front of a live fucking studio audience. They'll clearly say, you can choose the physician that reads the test results, because I know that I'm not on any drugs. Go ahead, Don. Make my day. Humiliate yourself and make yourself look like you're unhinged and a conspiracy theorist in front of tens of millions of people. Ta-da! Biden wins the election at that point, actually. If he manages to go through a talk screen and comes back negative, Donald Trump looks like a cunt. But he's not going to do that now, is he? Now, why would you not do that? Is it because it's humiliating? No, you're able to humiliate Donald Trump if you are indeed clean. You could crush him. It'd be like getting fucking atomic bomb from orbit, dude. The reason that you're not going to take the drug test is not because you feel it's degrading or humiliating or because it wouldn't be politically speaking, a great idea to take it if you could pass it. It's because you know that you can't pass the drug test. It is absolutely and objectively true that Joe Biden gets hopped up before he goes on screen. We know this. We can see the difference in the way that he acts, the way that he carries himself, the way that he talks when he's not hopped up. We can see the difference. There's no other thing that you can ascribe it to. It's not like Joe Biden randomly has massive changes in his personal behavior, his coherence, his energy level on a regular basis, unless there's something terribly, terribly wrong with him, which would bring about, the over the cuckoo's nest landed and laid eggs sort of thing. And be no other reason for it. They hop him up before the State of the Union. We know that. He did the Adderall smile. We all saw it. Don't fucking try to gaslight me and tell me that, yeah, that's a normal face that people make when they are mildly booed by people who they know are going to boo them at the State of the Union. It's totally normal to flip your shit on a reporter after you get hopped up. Normally, though, when he's not hopped up, he's rather quiet, he shuffles along, and he's kind of on the low energy, the low key side. But then there are these moments, and it's always when he gets up in front of a crowd of people to talk to them or something like that, all of a sudden he does the Adderall smile, and he looks like he's doped up. He's not going to take the drug test because he would come back positive, in other words. If they screen him for amphetamines, there would be a positive result. Not sure how long it stays in the bloodstream, but imagine you do a blood test like a day before the debate or something like that. I think I got bitten by a spider down there. Imagine that you do that. And it comes back positive. Well, that would be pretty bad for Joe now, wouldn't it? So he's not going to agree to it. He'll make an excuse. Well, that's insulting to ask me to take the drug test. You've said that even people have pointed out that Trump occasionally is higher energy than usual, and you think he's on pills? Drug test him too. If I were Joe Biden and I knew that I would pass a drug test, I would come out and say, that's fine. We'll do it a couple days before the debate so that we know that nobody's been hopped up recently. We'll do it right before we go on stage. And we'll sequester ourselves. We'll be in front of a bunch of people. We'll have several physicians. We each choose one. They all read the results. And then we'll have a neutral third-party physician. We'll randomly choose one out of the DC phone book. They'll look at the results and tell everyone right before the debate, hey, the candidate is doped up, or hey, the candidate's not doped up. And you take the drug test too, Don. So, you have to go through the same thing. Trump would look a cunt if he refused. And if Biden comes back negative, it makes Trump look like a conspiracy theorist. What the hell do you have to lose? Unless you wouldn't pass the drug test. And that's the long and short of it. Biden wouldn't pass one because he's doped up. I don't know exactly what they dope him up on. Why don't you get some of those CIA super drugs that won't even show up on the talk screen? You can always get some of those, can't you? It's not like there isn't a secret hospital in D.C. that's willing to dispense prescriptions and not tell anyone what our elected officials are on. I wonder what Dianne Feinstein was picking up at the pharmacy the other day before she croaked. I wonder fucking what? Could it be Alzheimer's medication? Probably. What about Mitch? What do you think Mitch is on? Oh, he uses drugs. It's probably when he fell down, he was probably doped out of his mind or something. If you were to screen these people for alcohol, they'd all come back positive. God, you remember when John Boehner, when they were doing the budget vote, remember they were trying to pass a continuing budget, and the Republicans were not cooperating with him, and neither were the Democrats, and it was it was a free-for-all. They're all on the floor, and he came out on the news and he said, well, the smell of booze was, you could get a contact high from it. And it smelled like the inside of a wine bottle. Yeah, these people love their dope. It's basically just a giant fraternity anyway. And these people, they'd probably drink the average frat boy under the table real easy. All of them do that. And it's probably like 10% of people in Congress aren't repeatedly alcoholic or on some sort of dope. The lefties, they probably smoke their weed more than anything else. More power to them. Maybe if the elected officials were forced to smoke and drink before they debated things, C-SPAN would be a lot more amusing. They might make more rational decisions, oddly enough. Get them high. Do what the ancient Persians did when you debate like a law or a regulation or something. First they debated it drunk, and then they would debate it sober and try to come to a conclusion. They would get wasted before they debated anything of a political or diplomatic nature, and I imagine that was pretty raucous. Well, basically like Congress is anyway. Joe Biden has an easy win here, as long as he can pass the talk screen. Why don't you just not dope up before this particular debate, and then you can, even when you lose the debate because you're not doped up, well, it won't matter. Everyone will be talking about how you passed the drug test. Easy win. But he can't, and he won't, because he's on pills. I would say probably Adderall, possibly something else. They might give him some Dexies and Adderall. Maybe they give him some benzos. Maybe they give him something a little more powerful. Who knows what he's on? Hell, maybe he smokes crystal meth before these events. I think they have him on an intermediate dose, though. He doesn't seem so jacked up that he's, fried out of his mind. It's just they give him a boost. And it ain't just Red Bulls. There's a joke about Joe Biden getting zipped on Red Bull right before debates. Having a Red Bull at his age could be dangerous to your vascular health, actually, so I don't think that he's downing one of these, per se. I know I am, though, but I'm 36. I think my heart can probably handle it. With Joe Biden, he'd probably croak live on stage. We're at the point where he is old enough so that could happen. He could drop dead during the debates, just his heart stops or something like that. He's 83 fucking years old. It's possible. I'm not hoping for that because then in the interim you get President Kamala, so... Joe, take care of your health, please. Please, keep your physician by your side at all times. If anything happens again, if somebody were to take a shot at Biden, I would jump in front of the bullet. Don't like Biden at all. The alternative is fucking scary. Be sort of like having a less qualified, less coherent Hillary Clinton in office. She'd probably start a nuclear war in her outgoing days of her administration just to show that she's one of the big boys. That she has a big ego and a vicious appetite for violence. Kamala displays that regularly. I think that it's a good idea. It'll be rejected out of hand, and Biden will say, if he responds at all, or Biden's people say, well, it's humiliating. It's unusual. It's totally non-decorum for you to request this. Why not? I think we should drug test all public officials. Instead of having them swear on a Bible, we should have them swear on a drug test and get a little blood test going, and if they come back positive for anything illicit, they're not allowed to hold office. That would be fun. But then there'd be nobody in Congress. Maybe that'd be an improvement. That's about all. Peace out.